So what are you going to be performing for us today?
I'm gonna be performing Freckles, the outro song to Rurouni Kenshin. Need to find the dang thing.
Off the top of your head, you know the BPM.
I'm gonna guess 180.
All right, now see, this ITG has a different scoring, I think, than you might have seen this be on the original cabinet.
It does, yeah. It utilizes the DDR-X X2 difficulty scale, so everything's like 14, 15 step. It's absurd.
Yeah, it's like in the 80s when those rated R movies were rated PG, like, but it's the inverse. It's like taking Spy Kids and putting rated R on it. They just like added like but they had like an extra category though on like newer, at least in the newer games anyway, like besides just, you know, light. Well, they changed all the wording. It was like basic. I don't even fucking remember. I rarely played like X2 and
Tricky. Tricky was the medium.
Yeah. Like, who is this? What the and they got rid of, I always played 1.5 time and in solo mode, so the colors would be, you know.
Solo is the way to play.
Right, because you have whole notes and half notes, eighths and sixteenths, I think. I don't think they ever did 32nd notes, right? Not on DDR anyway.
No, I don't think so either.
How do you feel about bombs in ITG?
Not a big bomb fan, but I do like gimmicks.
How do you feel about songs that are so hard so that you're forced to lean on the bar and just sweat like crazy?
Not a bar guy. Don't love bars. The bar is here to catch you, or I don't...
Right, it is a health...
Yes.
It's used to help you and not, like, let you... It's not a crutch.
Why can I not find this song? We're gonna do a different...
Well, I'll just sing Freckles, and you can just... like, oh my god, what do we got here? Your malware bytes has not been updated.
Crap.
Check for updates. Ladies and gentlemen watching at home, always remember to update your DDR USA so that malware bytes... You don't want to get a virus on this thing. Didn't mean to touch the arrow. I don't know that this side is even on, but...
Yeah, they're keyboard inputs.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
So I could, like, do, like,
It was a 150.
left, down, right, left, down, right, left, down, right, and it'll update your malware bytes.
Yes.
I believe that would turn on... Left, down, right, would turn on, solo mode, I think. So he's playing doubles. You have any idea the first double song you ever played was?
Oh my god, it's really hard to talk.
Just make up a song, nobody's gonna know.
I can't.
No music, all notes. I won't shut up. He can't even think of a song name off the top of his head that's anything but this.
I can't think of a single thing right now. I have to try to imagine the song.
Can you tell me the first DDR song you ever played?
That was Silent Hill.
Was it which, you know which mix of Silent Hill it was? Or at least which iteration of the machine it was on? So it was third mix. Was it the really slow one?
Yes.
Okay, that's abysmal. But you probably played it on like light or something, right? Like you.
Yes.
For so long I wouldn't commit to playing on heavy mode because I was terrified, not necessarily of failing, but that like I just didn't have the stamina for it, and I would see other people do it and they do fun little tricks and stuff, and I just thought like I just couldn't do that, so I had to do fun little tricks.
Your story.
And he got it failed. Great. Now do you remember what song you played doubles on first?
The first song I played on doubles was Young Forever on Max or DDR 4th mix.
That's disgusting. I actually don't know that one off the top. How does it go?
We will.
I'm just gonna have to censor your mouth.
Young forever.
Oh yeah, I do know that song. What's the first ITG song you remember playing?
The game.
Yeah, okay, the game. Which song from the game?
It's just no. It's called.
The game! I thought you meant the PS2 version of the game. Okay.
No, the song, The Game.
Okay.
It's a great song. Charlene.
It always makes me think. Yeah, it always makes me think of the song "The Game of Love."
Oh.
It's so many of these songs are bad. They're so bad, but they're fun to play.
That's the worst song.
Have you ever AAA'd a song? Well, I'm not using ITG grading scores, obviously, but in terms of a DDR game, home or otherwise, have you ever AAA'd a song?
I have AAA'd Bag.
And which level were you playing it on? What difficulty?
On Expert.
Right.
I'm too old for that. What the fuck, guys?
Too old for what?
That was one of my party trips was a AAA bag at 0.5 speed, which is a very slow song.
My friend in Topeka used to play bag all the time intentionally, like over and over and over again, just to piss people off. But he would play it on the slowest thing with no anything on, like no solo, no nothing, just all the obnoxious colors, and like he memorized it, so he would just play it backwards facing the people. Because once you played it like 9,000 times, you just know the song. So, is there any song that you could do without looking too much at the screen, or do you need the screen just to direct you in general?
So I used to do a lot of freestyle. So my big freestyles I do is Afronova, Cowgirl.
Yes.
Do a duet with Cowgirl. That one when I did that one, she rode me and I walked around on the pad.
Yeah.
And then I do a really good Orion.
Which Orion? Because there's like 42 different.
The first one, the original.
Gotcha.
But that one's great because I act like a drunken buffoon and I get thrown off of people's machines because I moonwalk on them.
Yeah, interesting. Me and my friend used to play Cowgirl. We would call it reverse cow. Oh, we would put it in reverse, so we would play it so from top to bottom, and we would just say reverse Cowgirl.
Cowgirl.
And we would do the gunshot thing. Yeah, so it was fun stuff. Maybe I can get her to come sometime and see if we can still do that shit. Anyway,
That'd be great.
So is there anything that you think people, like a lot of people have apprehension about trying this, they feel nervous about doing things like this. I don't know what maybe their apprehension is, but what suggestions and stuff do you have for people that want to play full body dancing games but they're too afraid?
Well, the best suggestion for dancing period, which is dance like no one's watching.
Right.
Absolutely. No, don't be afraid. The easiest way to get into DDR, in my opinion, is exactly how I did. I got into DDR in like 1999, 2000, and I would literally load videos up on the internet and just dance in front of my computer. It really works just fine.
That's clever.
The other piece that people need to get started with is not doing the hokey pokey. So don't start in the center and come back to the center.
Yes.
It's very, very hard habit to break. But getting confident and just sitting still, you notice how little movement you actually have to perform to do a lot of the moves, unless you're doing doubles with no sound and trying to answer interview questions.
Yeah, that's a good point. I bought DDR because it was sealed up on a shelf in EB Games at our mall, and nobody had touched it. And I was like, well, I'll just buy that.
With the diaper mat?
Yeah, and I saw people playing it in the arcade. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do that, but I'll play it at home. And once I discovered that you don't have to return your feet to the middle, the video instructs you to do that.
Yes.
It shows her jump back to the middle. The video was the thing. I was like, I don't have to do that?
Yes.
Mind blown. I sweat less. I was able to get more done, and it makes the game more fun. You know,
DDR sucks.
and then, yeah, so, let's see. I also told you I'd give you a math question. So, if you were to take the square root of 0, how do you get to the sum of pi?
Delicious.
All right, well, thank you, Shawn. You've been a doll. You've been a treat.
Thanks.
You've earned that towel.
Yeah, I failed the song.
All right, well, let's how about let's let you play a song for the video with sound.
This is a very good singing song. Okay, let's go.
So you got 2 minutes to get 5 points. You have a sword. You don't have a shield. Is there no like blocking or evading or juking or parrying? None of that stuff. You just run and gun.
Yeah.
So was the first time you played this the last time that we were here?
Yeah. I always played it. I've never played this game until I saw it here.
For anyone unfamiliar, this is the grid from Midway. It's a rough sequel to what is it? Oh my god, it's at the tip of my tongue. What is it called? What's the game?
Oh god.
Where the hell did Shawn go?
I know, where did Shawn go?
Leave it recording. Oh my god, it's at the tip of my tongue. It's the game. Oh my god, it's an arcade game, but it's also a home. There's also a home version of it.
I know it's on the Super Nintendo.
This is like Fortnite, right? You just don't build
it's like
things.
Fortnite.
You just run and gun.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite. Come on, little druid.
So, what game do you have the most arcade experience with? Whether in an actual arcade or elsewhere, like a bowling alley or somebody's basement, or
I probably pinball. I'm terrible at it.
yeah, but which pinball in general, or is there a specific board?
Oh no, not really a specific board.
There's not one you like over all the other ones. Usually, people like have an affinity for like one board, or they're like.
Lord of the Rings. There you go. That's a board.
What the hell is that game? And you like win cash at the end of it. God, it's gonna bother me, but I can't Google it.
Oh man, I'm just gonna keep going.
Whoa!
See, I'd be a terrible streamer, so I don't really talk that much when I play video games. Did I fart? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I did.
And then Shawn. Hold on.
Stress.
Shawn, what's the greatest sequel to?
Smash TV.
Smash TV. Have you played any Smash TV?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good, but it's totally different.
It's actually a sequel to Total Carnage,
Oh,
which is a
okay.
sequel to Smash TV.
So it's the threequel to Smash TV. It's the third in the trilogy. I remember you saying that there was like a tip that you had. At some point, you just get some certain weapon.
Seriously, you just grab whatever weapon you can and play with it. And that's just the way to do it.
Instead of spending money or something on different weapons? How does it?
No, you pick. So basically, there's weapons all around the. There's weapons all around the map.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I'm got 5 seconds left. I fucked up. Sorry. I messed up.
Oh, that's fine. It just means
I lost.
game over.
Yeah, 2 credits to continue. Should I continue?
You have 6? Oh, I was
I
gonna say
forgot
there's
about
6.
my super move. I have a super move right here. Like, right here. That I could use.
So you're saying don't bother running around looking for weapons, just keep the same
Yeah,
weapon?
just keep well, whatever you can get. Like, if you're right there, just use it. It's unless you have a favorite weapon and you're really good at this game. Like, as a beginner, I just pick up whatever weapon I can get my hands on, because I don't know what other weapons you're going to be able to do. I hate this one. This is the worst one.
Well, if anybody watching this has ever played the grid and you have tips about how to ace it, any underground knowledge that we should know, let us know, because we have full access to this machine most of the time.
Yeah, we do. We got 15 seconds.
Did you just take the weapon from them by using a super move on, or just a regular? Okay.
This weapon sucks. Oh, I'm done. See, I'm terrible at this game. So I could have just been pushing the super move the whole time.
What? It doesn't have like a limit?
I don't know. I mean, it's time limit. Oh, I'm done. See, I'm terrible at this game.
That's fine.
It's. I don't know.
No
what
worries.
else do you need to know?
I don't know. I can't remember everything we talked about previously, so I was.
We were talking about the Cabello stuff as like a game that I like to play at an arcade because it's kind of fun, especially when you're like trying to get the shotgun, you pump shotgun. It kind of feels more realistic when you're.
Is it one of those like ticket games, like when you go to those one kind of arcades and you like win certain amount of tickets by doing X amount of stuff, or is it just like a quarter eater?
I don't know. It's a quarter eater, I think.
That's hilarious. Huh? What?
Dude.
His lips are ridiculous.
Chicago, Illinois, 60618.
And I'm here with Elliott now. So Elliott is playing a hot Neo Geo game.
Yes.
You want to tell the ladies and gentlemen and other genders at home which game you're playing?
I am currently playing Metal Slug. I believe Metal Slug X.
Is it Metal Slug X or Metal Slug 10?
I'm going to say X. That doesn't sound right.
Was there not a 9 before it, or was it like a V and 4 ones before it?
I think there was, but I think they just forgot to put it down there.
Did those people call it Metal Slug V, I?
It's kind of like so something like that. Or just they probably thought, let's just call it X and call it good. We're fine.
So, are you hot for Neo Geo arcades, or do you have a more preferred arcade game or company?
Well, I didn't give it a lot of thought, and honestly, one of my favorite games that's a little more modern as an arcade was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's like my favorite fighter of all time, and I used to like have a mall arcade where I used to work at when I grew up in Michigan, and I would go there all the time on my breaks and probably pour in quarters, and would always be the last guy and always lose, but I used to always play that game like crazy. I was always Ryu, Spider-Man, and Venom. That was my go-to team. So.
Nice. By the by, as I'm standing here watching this, you are much taller than the screen of this thing. Is that a problem for you, or can you see just fine from that angle on a CRT?
I could see just fine. I learned to grow with it, so I'm really good with it. So works for me. I mean, other than that,
when you were younger playing Marvel vs. Capcom, were you shorter then, or did you turn tall at like 12 and you've just always been tall and dealing with arcade machines being shorter?
I did turn tall, so yeah, I just had to deal with it. Right? Turn tall and got I'll never forget though. One time I did make like a 8-year-old at a South Carolina arcade because I was there for work or something like that, and he cried because I beat the crap out of him with the Sentinel, and he was like thinking I was cheating. I'm like, what? It's your quarter, kid, not mine.
Well, there you have it. He's too tall for these machines. He loves Marvel vs. Capcom, and he hustles kids out of their win. That was Elliott, everybody. Thank you. What's the lowest score you've ever gotten on a pinball game?
I mean, I've gotten a 0. The ball's fallen in 3 times. It's like that when I hit a damn thing. You know? Pinball, baby.
So you didn't beat the high score?
I did not beat the high score, and I couldn't even get a damn match either.
Do you appreciate it, or think it's more aggravating and distracting when multiple balls come down and you have to deal with trying to...
Younger, as a kid, a young little kid, I loved it. And I got a little strategy to it now, but it's like it's a little more frustrating. They all swarm up. It's like you want to watch every single freaking ball, but anymore I just look at the flippers and I start,
right,
banging at it and just let randomly happen what happens. Then I actually try to play the game that is pinball.
What's the ugliest arcade machine you've ever seen?
The ugliest arcade machine?
You're just like, I can't even fucking look at this thing.
I can't even think of that right now, dude. I mean...
Everybody's all like rose-colored
arcade,
glasses, but some things are trash.
No, every arcade game is beautiful in its own sense, like the artwork itself and all that, We have ugly box art for video games out there.
Yeah.
But if you look, and as you can see, we're in a nice little game room that has lots of beautiful cabinets, but even some of the most basic cabinet art that you did dug over there, that's fucking gorgeous. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to find ugly cabinet art. It's all
ugliest cabinet is Wacko. The entire arcade machine is crooked. So even the
but isn't it intentional?
Well, the crooked, yeah. But art-wise, it looks good.
Wacko.
Oh, Wacko. What is that, a Midway game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know I had asked you for sure. I know I asked you that every time you'd go to an arcade, if there would be some other kid that you just absolutely hate and you'd want to beat him at whatever he was playing, or afraid that he was going to come bother you at your fucking arcade machine because...
My biggest thing, more or less, was that one kid that was just hogging up the machine that had so many quarters lined up and wouldn't let you get on to play it all, Yeah. Share it, dude. You've lost 5 games in a row. Let me take my chance at it now.
My dad beats me. If I stop, I have to go home.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary.
Give it up to Scary Gary. Non-arcade related though on that level there. When Guitar Hero came out, I had no want or concern or any joy in playing it. I was like, why do I want to play this weird plastic guitar peripheral. But I was at a Walmart one day, and I picked it up, and I'm like, let me give it a shot. There was this little kid that was playing it. He set it down. I picked it up and started playing it, and I was like, I looked at my friend I was with. I said, see how I just punked that kid off this game here? Let's check it out. And I'm jamming out, and I'm figuring it out. I'm getting excited. And then that little kid walked right back up, was watching me. I'm like, here, you can play it, buddy. You know, I was like, damn, he kind of punked me back off too with his little doe eyes or whatever. But it was at that moment right there when I realized I want to take Guitar Hero home now. Because I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, why would anyone play this shit?
I would say that its success is based off the fact they let people try it before they bought it.
That was the greatest thing back in the day. You know, you had arcades, yeah, boom, boom, but nothing like a video game kiosk at a department store or something like that.
Has there ever been an arcade game that you played that you were super embarrassed to be caught playing? You're like, oh man, I'm in too deep now and I feel like a jackass.
Oh, I mean, you're playing an arcade, so it's like, you know, you got your hit or miss on things like that, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a no. I mean, you would say maybe Miss Pac-Man back in the day, because it was Miss Pac-Man being a boy, like, oh, why aren't you playing Pac-Man? But then you realize Miss Pac-Man is the
better game.
Pac-Man, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I would say no, there is no game on it that I've never been embarrassed to be caught playing. Now, Nintendo games, you can definitely say, more than likely, like, oh, why are you playing Little Mermaid? I'm like, oh, leave me alone. But it's such a good game, actually.
Right. The last topic was Mortal Kombat, and I know that was your go-to. And you gave a tip, and I was like, I can't remember what the tip was, but I asked you for a tip. What was the tip that you gave?
If you don't know what the hell you're doing, just hold back and low kick and just sweep the hell out of them. Right. It's a noob move. You're just kind of, you know, being a little cheap at it, but I mean, you got a good chance of winning a match if you just get them caught up in that little trigger of lower foot sweeps, man.
Now, did you find that it was a difficult translation from a home version of the game versus the arcade version in terms of the controls?
If it wasn't for home versions, I would never like got into the arcade as much. I mean, like I played the arcade and loved it because I was the only way I could play at the time, but I found the joystick and buttons harder to control than a good old D-pad and controller. And when the home ports came to Super Nintendo, I used to play Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat 2 all the time by myself, 2-player mode, just so I can like learn all the damn moves.
And yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they never did anything kind of like, what was it, Tekken Dark Resurrection maybe, that introduced plugging in just a PlayStation 2 controller.
Right.
So why didn't they? I feel like they could have totally let you just plug in a Genesis controller at the arcade. And
I don't know. I feel that maybe the hardcore, you know, Mortal Kombat fans would have been pissed if they would have done that, because
you don't got to play that way.
You know, yeah, exactly. If you don't know how to play with the stick, why are you playing it? I mean, you take that port.
Yeah, gatekeeping seems like an 80s, 90s thing to do.
Well, and exactly. And if you look at the Mortal Kombat of today, they often play with a fight stick, and a lot of these guys play Mortal Kombat with a fight stick. Maybe not so much, because I guess tournament-wise, Mortal Kombat's done on the PS4, whatever version of PlayStation's out. I guess I'm assuming now it's going to be PS4. It was PS3 for the longest, but the PlayStation controller is just so key now for the way newer Mortal Kombat's play. But if you look at like what the Street Fighters of today, they all will play still with the fight stick. You know, they all got these badass fight sticks and they'll laugh and throw down. And some Mortal Kombat gamers do too, but there's just a few more button inputs that aren't as easy to do as like Street Fighter gamers know what they're doing.
I mean, it's obvious. It's, you know, the way we're going to have to go now is just buy a good quality fight stick and use it for all your games, because you're not really going to find arcades with new fighting games.
You know what? And that's.
Do you got an arcade stick?
I have a few arcade sticks. I know high quality ones like that, but good enough to where they do the trick. My 8-bit dough, you know, I got a few of those. Yeah. And then I do have the Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition that came out when Mortal Kombat, the reboot, Mortal Kombat 9, whatever you want to call it, came out. And it's a sick-ass arcade stick that's completely reminiscent of what the arcade cabinet was. I mean, it's the same kind of button scheme and type of buttons they use and fight stick that they use. And it got that great clicking. It's awesome. So it's good for Mortal Kombat games, but you can play it with other games, but I mean, it's designed for Mortal Kombat.
Right. All right, Gary, thank you. We're done.
Oh, well, thank you.
We're done, Gary.
All-in-one gaming, baby. Let's go.
Hey everyone, my name is Elliott. I'm with the All One Gaming Expo. We appreciate your time. Feel free to follow us on Twitter, social media, Facebook, and Discord as well.